What's going on? I'm fucking back. I know you all missed me. I am your favorite demon vampire, the one and only Laraj at your service. So, anyways, it's been a while. Not too long, but it's been a while. A little while. I like to do these. I like to connect with the people, and as you know, um, I like to talk about a lot of random things. Sometimes the bullshit that happens in Detroit, the gothic scene, the metal scene, and whatever. Just anything that give me a second here. Anything that inspires me, you know what I mean? But today we're gonna talk about a thing that a lot of you may be interested in, death metal. Now, death metal, what is death metal? When you hear death metal, what do you think of? The word death is in it, okay? The first fucking word is death. So maybe you may think of that, but metalhead terms, we think of something extreme. We think of something fucking brutal. We think of something that we can headbang to, have a nice cold beer, eat some pizza, do whatever the fuck we want. We think of that, all of that shit when we hear death metal. Now, death metal is an extreme subgenre of heavy metal, and usually the lyrics are about death, necrophilia, torture, brutality, anything gruesome, and guitars are usually tuned very low and distorted, and death metal is a genre mixed in with a lot of different things. You got melodic death metal, you got technical death metal, progressive death metal, and conventional death metal. So you have all of these subgenres, and you have this big ass genre, and we can go on about all that all day. But oh, and I see y'all probably noticed my shirt before I even finished. Yes, this shirt is a Marduk shirt. Um, if you don't recognize, obviously you know it's Marduk. If you couldn't see it, get a little closer, right here. But if you don't recognize this shirt, that's because this shirt is this isn't from an album. This is actually from one of their old ass EPs in '91 called "Fuck Me Jesus." I think you can see that pretty good. And yes, this was actually the cover for the EP. So, um, Marduk started off as a death metal band, a black and death metal band. So I guess we can kind of discuss them briefly here. They started off like that, and now it's a black metal band, and they're from Sweden. But back in their earlier years, Marduk they made shit like this. Music was always pretty extreme, even though their new album kind of disappointed me this year. But their older stuff was really fucking good. So yeah, this was the cover art for the '91 EP. But go check it out if you haven't. Fuck me, Jesus. Yeah, think you'll like it. But now back to what I was saying. Death metal. So, what is this extreme genre field of? What we got a lot of different bands, but when you think of death metal, not only do you think it is extreme fucking genre of music, you think of a band called Death. Now, Death, they are classified as the founders, Florida's own death metal heavyweights, and they are the founders of this lovely genre we call death metal. Now, um, Def obviously no longer makes records due to the fact that they singer. Those of you that aren't too hip to things in the modern world, he died of like many years ago. But Chuck was a legend. He was a death metal legend. He was a fucking phenomenal vocalist, and man, could that guy fucking shred? Like Chuck was he was the guy, and he'll always be remembered as death metal's legend. Um, but yeah, Def they were the founders, and Def wasn't just a death metal band. They were technical, they were heavy, they were melodic, they were fucking progressive. They were a little bit of everything. Okay, And I'm a diehard Death fan, and I got all the albums, T-shirts. You fucking name it, I got it, man. I got it all. All right. So I am a huge fan, obviously. My only regret is I really wish that him and Dan Swano from Edge of Sanity and other great death metal bands that I can't think of. He was in one. I can't think of the project, but he's from Edge of Sanity. That's his main project, so that's what I can think of right now. But him and Dan Swano, I think they would have made really great music. Regardless, I think if those two would have just got to like team up a little bit, they would have made something legendary. I think everybody can agree with me on that one. So yeah. So that's that. But what got me into death metal? Initially, I want to say this. Initially, I love black metal a lot, and I still do. But it just seems like death metal has gotten better over the fucking years, and a lot of these black metal bands have sold out, got commercial, and they just fucking suck now. And death metal is still alive. And I'm not saying black metal isn't good. It's always gonna be good, but it's not as good as it was back in the '90s, in my opinion. It's pretty disappointing now. So if you wanna check all that out, go back to the '90s. You'll find great bands. You'll find great bands, black metal bands. Personally, I like French black metal, but more than anything. But that's a different topic. So yeah, initially I was into black metal. Death metal wasn't really a thought because when I was just getting into metal a few years ago, I wasn't really like in tune with all the genres because I was a beginner, but now I'm kind of like it. I'm kind of expert now, so I know all the good shit. Um, where to start? I think the first death metal band I heard was maybe Edge of Sanity, and I'm glad because I will talk about them in a few. But yeah, I think the first death metal band was Edge of Sanity for me, and fucking Septic Flesh and Death and all these other bands that I really didn't take the time to just study and like get more information about. But I did like hear those guys, and when I really started getting into like extreme metal, um, those were the guys I listened to. So if you want to like, for those of you that want to get into death metal, my top five death metal bands is I don't know if it's pretty obvious, but definitely Death, obviously, because I've been talking about them for a little bit. Death, Edge of Sanity, Septic Flesh, Immolation, Karma. Those are some good death metal bands. There's more, but those are like my top five favorites. I honestly think Karma, the Black Waltz, I think came out in '06. I think it's one of the best albums to come out in the 2000s. One of the best. And you had other bands like Shade Empire that also came out with a album. But I think Karma was one of the best albums to come out in '06. Yeah. And a lot of Finnish death metal bands, like I said, while I'm on the topic, Shade Empire, they just came out with a new album last year, Poetry of the Ill Minded. And the band is they're a mixture of black metal and death metal. Some people call them a symphonic black, some people call them symphonic death, but regardless of what genre they fit into, they're a good fucking band regardless. So I mean, I've been listening to a lot of finished death metal lately. Art Goat, they came out with some pretty good shit. It wasn't like my favorite album. It wasn't like wow, but it was pretty good. And like I said, you got Karma, Shade Empire. Um, I forgot how to pronounce this. I think is Omnium Gatherum or some shit like that. It's a pretty good band too, and their new album it was phenomenal. So I think Finland, um, what's another good country that does death metal? Germany, they do it pretty good as well. So Finland, Germany, Sweden, obviously, I couldn't even forget them. Sweden definitely does death metal pretty well, and I went to a concert not too long ago when I seen At the Gates, and they were with Behemoth and Wolves in the Throne Room. So they always got to fit one of those Swedish bands in there. But they were pretty good. And obviously, since I'm on the topic of death metal and Swedish death metal, uh, my Edge of Sanity shirt. Hold up. Ooh, fuck. Ugh. Ooh, lovely, isn't it? I really, I like this shirt a lot. One of my favorites. Uh, Another one that I usually wear a lot. This Dragon intro shirt. This isn't really conventional. This is more like grindcore, more gore grindish type shit, but it's pretty graphic shirt, isn't it? And then I just got this Murdoch shirt too long ago. But I have more. I just wanted to show y'all a few. Shit like that. Um, but yeah, so I got into all those bands, and y'all know I do vocals as well. Death growls and all that shit. Um, when I record my covers, usually I just it's look. This is how I do it because I like certain songs. I usually pick a death metal cover because usually I would cover anything that catches my ear. But instead of just trying to like search through certain songs, I have a list, and I really like death metal a lot. So I'll go through my list of death metal songs that I really like. So I may say like, "Fuck it, let's do Bloodbath this week, and let's do Septic Flesh another week," or something like that. So yeah, I definitely have a list of covers I do. It's not just random stuff because that's not how I like to do it. I like to have it all organized. And a lot of people what a lot of people don't know is I don't go to the studio anymore and do my covers. I do them all at home now. So that's not studio recording. That's just me knowing how to edit and mix shit together. So that's what that is. I don't go to the studio anymore. I mean, why go to the studio and pay for something that you can do yourself for free? Makes sense, right? So that's how I do my covers. I edit it different ways, but as long as I have a microphone and I'm recording, and I just layer the track and take the original track and put it with my vocals, and edit the shit the way it's supposed to be, I'm all good. So that's usually how I do my covers, and it's not really that hard once you get the hang of it. It takes a toll on my voice kind of, but not really. Voice has gotten better over the years. When I first started off, I didn't suck, but I was not the best at fucking harsh vocals, and I got a little better at it over time. Like, I want to say drinking has altered my voice just a little bit, and not for a bad reason, but my voice wasn't always so guttural. It was a little lighter, but that's metal for you. That's living a party life, and that's how I got that fucking beautiful ass how some people like to call it demon vocals. That's how I do it. That's a lot of drinking. I don't recommend everybody do that. That's just a personal thing for me. So that's how that works out. Yes, if you follow me on Snapchat, if you don't, not important, whatever. I did say I won't be doing clean vocals anymore. And not because I don't like to, but let's be honest, nobody gives a fuck about me doing clean vocals. I don't even like doing clean vocals. I just do it because I wanted to switch it up. But I mean, my clean vocals are like a fucking six, maybe. I mean, you have to admit when something is good and when it isn't. My clean vocals aren't the best. And it's not because I can't fucking sing. I just don't do clean vocals that much. So it's not really important at all. It's like, who the fuck wants to hear this bullshit? Like, do harsh vocals more. And it's like, okay, so they told me to do that more, and that's what I'm doing. So, next week, definitely expect another cover. I'm not really sure which cover I'm gonna do. I'm kind of stuck in between Obscura cover, um Shade Empire, and Kata Angren. But one of those three, I will do a cover to one of those three bands, but it's not important right now. So, we got that out the way about what bands I like and shit like that. So, what shows do I want to see coming up? So Behemoth show and all that, we got that out the way like a few months ago. So Septic Flesh and some more bands are supposed to come in January, and if I had the money, I'm fucking going, man. I like to meet all these metalheads because it's like we never get to connect because Detroit is such a it's a pretty big city depending on like where you at. It's pretty big downtown. It's pretty big. And it's people from all over, and you'll find metalheads everywhere. But the extreme metal scene is getting really big out here now, man. Like in Detroit, is kind of surprising to me actually. The golf scene was always pretty big, but this shit right here, this is I like this. But yeah, I like meeting all these people, man, because we share a common interest, and I should have spoke about this chain earlier. Um, so a lot of you, if you don't already know, I've been very vocal about this. I am an atheist. And a lot of death metal rockers, but not just black metal rockers, they usually have all this Satanism type shit on, and they usually, not all the bands, but some of them promote Satanism and all this occult and all this shit in a music. And not that it's a bad thing, but I see Satanism and metal is something that does go together. um Obviously this goat has been represented in a lot of this Baphomet. It's been represented in a lot of different ways. um I see it as peace, freedom, tranquility, self-expression, really. And I think people, if they delve into Satanism a little more, I'm not saying you have to. I mean, I respect everybody's religious preference. Just respect mine, and we good. But if you do decide to dabble in the Satanism, really check it out. It's interesting, and it's not what you think it is. Because a lot of people think it's about hurting people and all this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. We don't want to hurt you. We just want you to be accepted and join the church. That's all it is to it. So yeah, a lot of these bands actually have inspired me to do certain things. Marduk, I was talking about when they first started, they were a death metal band. And I do want to share this special story. So when I first really got into Marduk, it was a singer named Legion. Now, Legion wasn't the first singer. God knows Marduk has so many fucking singers. I think it was four. I think it was four. It may have been five, but I really think it was four. But um they had so many damn singers, man. And yeah, so Legion was he was on like at least two or three albums, I think. And when I seen his stage presence, I was fucking amazed. Like, I looked at it and I said, bro, I like this fucking guy. Like he had vocals from hell. Like when I say his vocals were very extreme, when I tell you I just listened to this guy and I was like, this is what Marduk should fucking sound like. I was amazed. I was blown away when I first heard it. And he had this he had the Baphomet tattoo, right? He had that. And when I was thinking of tattoo ideas, I was thinking about shit like what is a good tattoo I would get? What is something that would symbolize me as a person? Like what is something I would say, okay, I really like that. Let me fucking get that. So I had a few ideas. And after listening to one of their single tracks from Heaven Shall Burn, I was like, you know what? I'm really inspired by this. I really like this band and I like this singer. Let me get this fucking tattoo. And I got the Marduk tattoo. So that's how that happened. I don't know if I want to show you guys, but there it is right there. But yeah, that's what inspired me to get that. And then I got the Baphomet. So yeah, we can say death metal and black metal and all that inspired me a lot. Um, but yeah, so that's the main course right there, and that's how I feel about it, man. That's the inspiration. So, what death metal bands am I checking out now? 2018 hasn't been the best year for a lot of bands, and I feel like 2019 can be a comeback for a lot of people, but Immolation the Atonement, and I actually did a cover not too long ago to that. It was the Atonement album. 2017, it was a great album. Uh yeah, so I can list a bunch of recommendations. Actually, I'm gonna put some in the little link and y'all can check them out and feel however you want to feel about them. Check them out though. I'm gonna try to put at least 5 in the link below so y'all could fucking check it and whatever. So another thing is, what do death metal rockers usually look like? Personally, everybody has their own style. Me, I'm into a lot of different shit. Obviously I have these piercings and all this shit. I have my own style. My style has been original since day one. I never wanted to copy anybody. I never wanted to be like anybody else, even in this whole fucking music thing. I always wanted to have my own style and I wanted people to like me for my style, not anybody else. And like I said, I had a lot of inspiration from the artists I listen to in general. They gave me that inspiration. Because of them, I was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it my way. And piercings is just it may be a little pain, but I feel like that is my death metal look. Because usually these rockers, regardless, they look badass. Like most people on stage, they want to have this badass persona. They want to stand out, especially if you're a front man. You want to be the guy that they have all eyes on, and especially if you got the vocal work and you got the stage presence, you're gonna be targeted. Everybody's gonna look at you and you're gonna stand out. Shit. Ooh, excuse me, but yeah, I feel like that's my death metal look, and um, I support all types of different Satanist chains and whatnot, and hey, people like it, man. I've been praised for it, so I'll do that. How do the girls react to my death metal shit? I think most girls are a little scared of it, and some of them aren't. They get a little fascinated. They want to know, how do you get into this? What do you like so much about this genre of music? And they are really fascinated by it. Some of them, a lot of them just they can't handle it. They I won't say they basic, but a lot of them usually end up being basic, and they like fucking rap, and that's about it, and all this pop shit, and like, come on, man, like, step out, have variety in your life. That's all I ask. And they get too scared of it. But I met a few chicks that actually like this death metal genre, this extreme genre. And I feel like those are the type of girls I need in my life. I never had a metalhead girl, you know. I always wanted a girl with a similar music taste, or something that just catches my eye. Like, everybody want to have a girl that they got something in common with. Everybody don't want a girl that they just got completely opposite things with. They want to have a girl with common interest, and my common interest would be a girl that likes extreme metal. That would be the go-getter for me, honestly. um and it's easy to find those things, but you'll find them in the weirdest places, though. So maybe I might find a girl that's into this music, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. And I just keep doing my thing, because there's so much shit I'm just thinking about right now, but I'm trying to see which order to say it in. So the lyrics, as far as death metal goes, um a lot of death metal has really gruesome lyrics, obviously. um I actually write pretty gruesome lyrics myself. Maybe I'll have to just share it with you guys one day. I don't have my notebook or anything with me, just stuff I've written over the years. But Dying Fetus, golly, man, they have some really interesting titles. I think some shit you'll like. Let's see, what's another good one? Anonacrith, they had some really, they're not even death metal, are they? Like extreme black metal or some shit like that. They had some like really fucking off the wall like song titles, like, and it's not bad titles. It's just, it fits the standards. That shirt I showed you, the dragon intro shirt, it said penetrating the syphilic, I can't even say that word, but syphilic cadaver. So it's a pretty gruesome shirt, and I'm really into, like, I want to say, like, gore grind or brutal slam. And slam is just basically brutal death metal. A slam is basically a genre that promotes a lot of graphic, a lot of gruesome, a lot of morbid imagery. And they plaster it in your face, and it's almost like porno grind, but it's like death metal with like sexual, graphic, disgusting lyrics, and I like that shit. I don't know when I got in a slam like that, uh, but brutal death metal is not bad. I like, with some good bands. Arcanus was a good one. Analepsy, but it's ones that are like more extreme than that, and fuck, I cannot think of it off the top. Oh, Disgorge, Visceral Disgorge, Dragging Entrails, obviously, um, Suicide of Disaster, and a whole lot more. So those are the type of bands that if you're really into the extreme shit, you'll like it, man. I'll definitely. It's so many recommendations I fucking got for y'all. It's like, dog, y'all getting them today, man. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it. But I'm glad you guys are here to listen, and I love sharing my wonderful metal life with you guys. And I'm not really sure what else to say because I try not to make these videos too long because then I start pacing around and fucking getting like not lost but sidetracked and I don't really know. So I guess we can wrap it up with this one. Unless I can think of anything else. Okay. One more thing. I usually do a 2018 list. My fault. Just a top 10 list and the best albums of whatever year it is. So this year, what would be the top 10 of 2018? I don't know, but so far I will reveal my list exclusively on here. I don't have the full thing yet, but obviously Karma, Omnium, Gatherum, Hoth, Obscura, mm, and shit. I can't think of the other two off the top of my head, but those would be the four right there that got my vote for this year. And Mournful, I think it's Mournful Congregation. I think that's the band, but whatever. I can't remember everything because I just listen to so much shit. But glad you guys came for the ride, and I'm glad you tuned in. And I will see you guys maybe in 2 weeks because I like to make these special. So thanks for watching. Have a good holiday, and most importantly, stay metal. See y'all later.